Hello, good morning, everyone. I think we are currently over 150 in the room today. Today, we're having a meeting with Mrs. Ogunlesi, who is the Chief Responsibility Officer of Ruff and Tumble. I've had the opportunity of meeting her personally, and I think she's very inspirational. I think her story is one that needs to be heard. I think it's a story we all need to learn from. And on behalf of the green community, all the members who are here today and their guests and friends, I'd like to present her to you this morning. But before I go about the duty of presenting her to you this morning, I want to quickly share with you our profile so that you can know who exactly are we talking to. Not everybody knows who Mrs. Ogunlesi is. I want to do justice to that this morning and just share a little bit about her with you. Mrs. Ogunlesi is a visionary and authority in the garment manufacturing industry in Nigeria, and she's been in this industry for over 35 years. I'm sure if you look at her face, you are wondering, is she even 35 years old? How much more adding value for 35 years? She's driven by passion to show the world the possibilities that are abound in Nigeria. She's starting that journey with the production of quality clothing. And I've seen her work. I've been to the factory. I've been to the office. I've seen amazing things that are going on there. And I think today we'll learn a lot from our experience. She's built a successful premium children's clothing brand with over 16 international standard retail outlets across Nigeria. She's proudly Nigerian. She's proud to showcase the Nigerian values and business. And then she has an e-commerce platform through which Ruff and Tumble brand, making Ruff and Tumble an instant recognizable brand in the Nigerian West African market, while creating and establishing children's fashion in the retail industry in Nigeria. She's the CRO of Ruff and Tumble, has birthed the Timotiwa brand, Yoruba meaning where I come from, and designs and produces children's clothing made with quality African fabrics, popularly called Ankara. Leadership has tremendously upskilled the garment manufacturing and production industry through innovative collaborations in capacity building with foreign technical partners like Gatimo Apparel, investing in technology and machinery and tripling production like no other factory nationwide. She has other initiatives that she's involved with. She's involved with the foundation, Share Cause I Care, dedicated to consciousness of children and the benefits of sharing and caring for society through community engagements, and the Betty O School of Fashion, training young individuals with practical skills in garment making, business of fashion, leadership, entrepreneurship skills, and influence and drive change. Not only is she a force to reckon with in the fashion and retail industry, she's also actively involved in building and impacting the world. She's a non-executive director at Lafarge Holcim PLC, and the founding member, first president of NECA's new network of entrepreneurial women. My wife is a part of that group as well, so I know what it means to be the first president of that organization. She's also an advisory and board member at Whisker, Women in Successful Careers, a structured mentoring program for young women. She's an advisory board of the Enterprise Development Center, EDC, at the Pan African University Lagos Business School. We had Professor Patutomi last week. She's a member of the EDC board as well, and a board member of the Feed the Child program, an amazing Amazon initiative. Today, we're going to be having the privilege of listening to Mrs. Ogunlesi, who has won several awards, a life coach, international speaker, talks to women, groups, families, entrepreneurs, and young people. She's happily married to Adebola Ogunlesi, and they are blessed with 3 grown children. So today, we're going to be learning what are our success secrets, what are the things or success ingredients, what are the key factors that have kept her in business all the while, that have kept her successful all of this while. How has she managed to build this brand over the last 35 years? I know that the factory site alone is worth over a few billions. I know people don't like to talk about money and how much things cost, but I've been to the factory. I've seen it in the Ikeja GRA. I know the amount of value that is tied down in that place, that is, tied down productively in that place. So I think there's a lot, of value that she's created. And, there's so many dimensions of our story that inspires me. And I want to welcome us today to this journey of inspiration with Mrs. Ogunlesi. Are you in already, Mark? Can you have volume?
Yes, I am, Deolu. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
There. Can you see me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I am not seeing you yet.
Can you see me? I can see you, and I can see a couple of other people.
I can see you now. Yes.
You can see me now. I hope. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that very kind and generous introduction, Adeolu.
My pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody is hearing you. They're putting their comments in the comment box. They are
Okay,
muted.
I can see it now. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So, Deolu, how do you want us to do this?
Yes.
Do I begin?
Yes, I want you to begin. Yes, just tell your story, and I will take it from there.
So, remember that this is a 35-year story.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and tell it in 30 minutes. It's almost impossible. So I'll pick a few highlights and the things I feel are the most important to share with you today. And for me, the biggest ingredient for anything that you define to be successful or want to define as successful requires that you even define what success even means to you. Because success to everybody is different. And we tend to have a definition of success that puts us under a tremendous amount of pressure to achieve very big things, when actually we should celebrate the little wins, because it's those little baby steps that takes you to the big wins. So they say, despise not the days of your humble beginnings. Really, quite frankly, you have to recognize and appreciate your efforts while on the journey to achieving that very big, audacious goal. Because it is your daily habits that will create the future that you want to see. Without those daily habits, that future will remain a dream. So what do I mean? The first thing for me was to define myself. I found myself in a situation where I seemed to be like a black sheep. Black sheep meaning I just didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. My older siblings had degrees in languages, in medicine. I decided that I didn't want to be a lawyer. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. So from a very early stage, I was already considered a black sheep. And so I put myself under what I call self-regulation, to make sure that whatever happens, the people who called me a black sheep will look at me and say, when did she turn white? She's not black anymore. But that was my choice and my decision to make. It was within my power. And so for me, everything begins with self. And the definition of self, meaning who am I? Why am I here? What do I want to leave the world with? How do I want to be remembered? And for me, the greatest driver was I was tired of people saying nothing good could come out of Nigeria. Everything made in Nigeria was substandard. And I said, look, are you not made in Nigeria? Are you substandard? Let's begin with you. Huh? If you are saying everything made in Nigeria is substandard, you are also substandard. I don't want to be substandard. And I wanted so desperately to prove that it was possible to own a company in Nigeria that could produce to international standards. And that was my dream. I wasn't really thinking about money. Even though I learned very quickly that when you're doing business, performance, you have to be profitable. Otherwise, just go and sit at home. Your financial performance is not negotiable. You have to perform financially, no matter whatever the circumstances. If you don't do well this year, how about next year? But there has to be a trajectory of growth that you can see yourself and you can benchmark yourself against. So it began with me defining who I wanted to be. So I decided I wanted to be an industrialist. That's what I wanted to do. But who was the person going to be? This person had to be somebody who saw possibility, not the challenge, not the challenges that did not allow you to do something, but the reason why you needed to do that thing. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to become an industrialist, but it's not going to be easy, because I saw people like Chief T.A.O. Dutola when I was a child. He owned a biscuit factory, he owned a tire manufacturing factory, he owned palm oil, he owned beer. He was my childhood hero when I was growing up, after my mother. Because my mother was a trader. My mother traded in Adire and made clothes. So I grew up in that kind of environment. But what I realized from both of them, who were my role models, was the level of self-discipline that they had. If you cannot self-regulate and you do not have discipline, you cannot be an entrepreneur. Never mind a successful entrepreneur. So you must define yourself and define who it is you choose to be, because your character will define your personal reality. Your personality will define your personal reality. Whoever you choose to be is what is going to define the outcomes that you want to see and you will get in your life. So I realized that I needed to be disciplined. But when I thought of discipline, I thought punishment. And I thought, wow, I need to redefine discipline. So I redefined discipline, giving it a positive meaning. Meaning, for me to get the things I want to do, to discipline myself and to self-master, to master myself, go on a journey of self-mastery, meant that I needed to find what was good about what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it. Because when my generator stopped working, when my staff walked out on me and left me, when everything fell about and the challenges came, real life challenges in business came, I could have walked away if I did not define the reason why I was doing what I was doing. So for me, I was driven internally to succeed, regardless of what the outside, the circumstances were saying. So it was important for me to define that regardless of my circumstances, regardless of adversity, regardless of challenges, I had a goal and I was going to achieve it. So it meant I needed to build mental muscles. I call it mental muscles. It's called resilience, but I call it mental toughness. That if you want to do business in Nigeria, you have to come to the table with a certain level of mental toughness. That when you see everything burning, you are still as cool as ice water. And you are just looking at it and just asking yourself forward, proactive thinking questions. What's going on here? What are the solutions I can prefer? So you are outcomes thinking rather than, oh, the fire is burning. Oh, this is burning. Oh, that is burning. Something is always going to be burning. That's the way life is. But how are you going to respond to that burning? So find the values, like 10 values that will help you define yourself. So for me, discipline was number one. Resilience was another one. That I was never going to be defined by my circumstances, but rather that I would define my circumstances by defining the things that I wanted to see with clarity and having a clear sense of what it is I wanted to be, who it is I wanted to be, what it is I wanted to achieve, and how I was going to get there. Because the how is so important. If you don't have the plan, you are going to be a, what do they call them? Procrastinator. You'll be talking. So define your values. There's so many values. It's all on the internet. Which 10 are the most important to you? And the quickest way to define your values is this, is what are you spending your time on? What are you spending your money on? Those two things will tell you what is important to you and what you are not ready to negotiate on. And when you define those things, no matter what is happening, you have a steady compass that will guide you through every single challenge. So It means that you have to be ready to define. As life goes on, you will redefine. As life goes on, you will refine and then redefine again. It's evolution, because we will not stay in one place. We will evolve. We will always evolve. And I always say to people, don't try and be who you are not. There's nobody for you to impress. Be your authentic self, because that authenticity is a gift from your creator. And that gift is what makes you unique and what makes you super, super special. And that is what makes you bring a unique gift, either to the world, to the marketplace, to where you work. That is what helps you do that. So don't try and be anybody else. Be your authentic self. And there's a saying that my mother used to tell me, everybody else is taken. You be you. Bring you. Do you as best as you can. But with a mind that is open to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. Which means you are constantly learning. Everybody feels that once you leave university, everything is automatic. That sense of entitlement is what makes a lot of people fail. Nobody owes you anything. You have to now sit down after all of that and then decide who you choose to be. So you have to be ready to continue to stay curious and be learning, as Steve Jobs says. He says, stay curious, stay young in your mind. I don't hang out with people who are my age group too much. I hang out with people who are either very much older than me or much younger than me. Young people have energy. The way they see the world is fantastic. And if you want to get a young person to do something on your phone, if you notice, their hands will move faster than you can see. Their brain will move faster than you can see. Their brains are sharp, especially those who are connected to the 21st century. Those of them who are connected to technology. They see things in a dimension that we who are older than them cannot see. But we who are older than them, we have experience. And so we can guide their youthful exuberance to creating good results. So for me, the most important thing is that sense of self-mastery and self-regulation and becoming intentional and living life in a very intentional way. So nothing is an accident. And one of the values, let me just add this, please, is positive energy. A lot of people are going to tell you that your dream is a waste of time. Somebody said to me, why do I want to make children's clothes in Nigeria? Nobody is going to buy it from me.
Wow.
And then she said to me, why do you even want to put your logo, your label on the outside of the clothing? Who wants to be going around wearing clothes that has your label on the outside? I said, you can never see my vision because it's not yours. And I said to her, go and break off the Mercedes-Benz crest on your Mercedes-Benz and remove the Chanel on your Chanel bag before you come and tell me I can't put my logo on my clothes. This is the work of my hands. And I put it on there to show how proud I am that this was made in Nigeria. So I'm not going to change that. And I refuse to change it up until now. Yeah?
Yep.
So be positive. And as it is now, we're in a crisis. It's a big problem. Yes, it is. Also opportunities within challenges. So you need to be thinking, what will I do? How can I change what I'm doing? How can I disrupt myself? It's a saying that I love, a question I love asking myself. How do I disrupt myself? Because when you sit and you're comfortable and you sit in your comfort zone, you can be disrupted.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you allow other people to disrupt you, it is a bigger problem than if you disrupt yourself. So how do I disrupt myself? Yes, I acknowledge the things that I've done, but I don't rest on the things that I've done. What's the next thing? What's the next level? And whenever you're about to go on to another level, the challenges you face, oh my word, the challenges you face, oh my goodness. Sometimes you just want to quit. But that's when your self-talk, what are the things you are saying to yourself every minute of the day? The voice of doubt will creep in. You can't do it. Who says you can do it? Who Who do you think you are? What do you think? And then somebody will come and reaffirm that. No, you lower that voice that is always questioning your capacity and your ability. Lower that voice. Raise the voice that says to you, you can do this. You've got what it takes. So what do you need to do? What are the books you need to read? I can buy a book because of one chapter. Because the one chapter answers the question that I'm seeking a solution or an answer to. And I will read that chapter. And if I'm looking for another solution, I will look for the best book that can give me the best solution, and I will read it. So really, truly, and honestly, I'm a simple person like you. You probably all have more degrees than I have. Truly, honestly. I don't have an MBA. I don't have any of those things. But I have a strong desire and a strong passion, a sense of duty and responsibility to project my country in the best possible way, best possible light, and to lead by example. That for me is my job now as the CEO of Ruff and Tumble. So as the CEO of your own business, what is your responsibility? What is your responsibility? What values are you passing on to your team? Because it's not do as I say, it's do as I do. Never mind what's going on elsewhere in Nigeria. In your small corner, it is do as I do, not do as I say. Yeah? So I want to encourage you to persevere on that self side, because a lot of entrepreneurs are made or broken by the narrative that is going on in their minds. And the narrative going on in your mind is going to dictate your focus. And your focus, your energy is going to go wherever your focus is. So you will find that your results will become limited by what you are saying to yourself. So you must challenge yourself and challenge your narrative on a continuous basis. You can't stop at all. Now, when it comes to business, I will talk about business on four pillars, four simple pillars. The first pillar is the people. If you do not have people to work with you, you cannot have a business. So your people are the bridge between your customers and your products and your services. And you must recognize this. So around people, the most important thing is to get the right people doing the right things at the right time. That is so key. That is so key. You want to get people who share your values. You want to build a culture that is based and driven on values, so that the day you are not there, everybody can say, no, 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 no. This is not our value. We cannot do this. We will not take this, or we cannot do this because it does not align with our values. So finding that alignment and building that culture, even if you are 10 people, even if you are 1,000 people, you must be driven by a deep sense of purpose and a set of values that everyone shares. Not just a group of people. The entire group of people must share it. Because nothing sustains a business after cash than its values. If you have no values, you cannot sustain or hold that business together. It will become a toxic environment that nobody wants to work in. And you don't want to build a business like that. You want to leave a legacy. Even if you are the janitor, you want to leave a legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
So what would they say about you when you leave that business? If you are working there, that's what you want to that's what you want to drive your focus. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the customer. Who is your customer? What is your product that you are offering the customer? What are the features that you are offering the customer of this product? What are you selling? For us at Ruff and Tumble, we're selling happiness. It's not just about clothes. It's that we want children to wear our clothes and be happy. So all our staff, when they're selling, they have to be happy. We have to have a happy environment to be able to sell happiness in the form and shape of clothing to small children. So we are no longer selling clothes, we're selling an experience. Because the new marketing has moved away from the 4 P's to the 4 E's of marketing, which is experience, it's exclusive, It's you engage your customers, and there's a lot of emotion in what you are doing. So it's purpose-driven, it's purposeful. It's a bigger, you are driven by something bigger than money. So it's, for me, it's very, very important that you are able to define who your customer is and the kind of experience that you want to offer them. Yeah, and as well as the features of the products. Because if you compete on price, at Ruff and Tumble, we don't compete on price. We compete on experience. We compete on exclusivity. We compete on an emotional connection with our customers. So in this lockdown, we have 4 young women who have been calling our customers every day. They call a different batch every week. They call a different batch every week. So we stay connected to our customers. And we're talking about customers in the thousands. Yeah? But you have to do what you have to do. Because if you want to be a great company, you have to do the things that great companies do. Yeah? Now, when you get these good people and you get these customers, what is the structure, the systems and the processes that will drive your daily activities, that will drive the clarity of your vision, that everybody in the organization understands what they should be doing? So, job descriptions, your key performance indicators, your performance management matrix, your financial performance matrix. People have to understand all of those things. What are your HR policies? Some people don't know, some people know. What are your HR policies? It's so important. What are your financial systems? How do people pay? How do people pay you? Because this is what will drive sustainability, because it will drive standardization. So everybody knows what to do. They're doing what they should do, and they're getting it right. Once they're getting it right, you build a rhythm and a momentum that the business just takes off on its own. And it takes years to achieve that. I don't want to bust your bubble, but it takes time to achieve it. Yes, but it also takes being single-minded and being focused about what it is that you want to see in your business, what it is you want to achieve in your business. It's so important. Yes, yeah? Yes, now, of course, you cannot have a business without the 4th pillar, which is finance. Finance is so key. You must understand the language of money. You must understand how to make it, how to keep it, and how to multiply it. And those are skills that if you don't have, better hire people that know how to do it. Because Yoruba people say, and pardon me for speaking Yoruba, Yoruba people say, àlejò lówó. Ẹni tí ò bá tọ́jú owó, tó bá ń wá kò ní rí. Àlejò lówó, money is a visitor. So you have to learn how to engage this visitor in a way that you keep some of that visitor behind. It doesn't all disappear. Yeah? So it's important that we understand this and that we put the systems in place. So you are a small business, get a bookkeeper. Keep records. Because if you are in the dark, you don't know how much money you spent, you don't know how much money you have, it becomes a problem for you yourself who is running the business. And there must be financial accountability and discipline. There must be. So you must self-regulate. Because you own the business, you cannot say they should give you 5,000 there, or give you 1 million there, or give you 100,000 there. No, you must be accountable to all the people that are working with you. Because those people must become your team. Because together, you will achieve so much more than one person. You know, one of the things I learned from John Maxwell, all of us is smarter than one of us. Together, we are all much smarter than one single person. Because people have different perspectives that they want to share with you. Yeah? So it's important to understand money, to understand finances. Simple, get people who understand it if you don't understand it. Because a lot of the time as entrepreneurs, we're driven by so much passion and emotion that we don't look at the figures. We just want to do this thing and we're not going to stop until we do it. But again, what we're looking at is profitability and sustainability. And to achieve those, we've got to have the systems in place and the people in place that will help us achieve it. It is so key. So Deolu, I don't know whether I've been talking for 30 minutes. I have no idea.
I think we're still following you. You've been speaking for, yeah? It's almost 30 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think for me, those are some of the key things.
Somebody said,
so
please
to
continue. Don't stop.
live a deliberate and intentional life, to be somebody says continue, don't stop. to be self-regulatory, to be self-regulatory, self-mastery. I think that is the place where a lot of people come back and say, I can't. In my office, you can't tell me I can't, and you can't tell me I don't know. You tell me, ma'am, give me 5 minutes, let me find out. Go and ask the right question, you will get the right answer. The quality of the question you ask is the quality of the answer you will get. And sometimes the easy thing is to say, I don't know. You don't know because you don't want to know. So if you really want to know, then ask a question. Ask somebody. And nobody is going to, even if they laugh at you for asking the question, it's not your business. You know where you are going. They can't see where you are going. You have the clarity of purpose and intention. You are deliberate and intentional about this vision that God has so beautifully planted in you that the world is waiting for you to unleash. What do you care who is laughing at you? There's no need to care at all. Just go, do, think, plan, step back, evaluate. What measurement matrix have you put in place to check what you are doing? Because what you don't measure, you cannot understand the value of it. So you must measure. It's so important that you do that. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think, Adeolu,
yes, ma'am.
You know that.
Okay.
Maybe I will just speak very briefly to leadership at this very challenging time.
Okay.
Because this is a big disruption in the world at this point in time. And with your kind permission, I will share with you some of the things that we have been able to do. And I will forward the video to you, Deolu, so that you can share it with your community.
Excellent.
And I like your community. They're very engaging, which is, fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And that's one of the most important things. Be engaging, It shows somebody who wants to advance and wants to move on. And so we manufacture children's clothing. And I'll just share this experience with you. I'm telling you this short story. We manufacture children's clothing, and then one day we stopped. We have 17 retail outlets that are all shut down. No income coming in. Okay, so I look at it. We had a fantastic plan for 2020. So we were very organized. All our suppliers that needed us to pay up front, we had paid. We have containers that are coming for the materials that we require. There's some are stuck in the sea, some are stuck still halfway across the world in Turkey, all over the place, they're stuck. Yeah? So we've got a huge amount of money that is tied down. But we are a daily business, so our cash comes in on a daily basis. And because we have our records, we can project what cash will come in based on our sales. I'm so sorry, I forgot to tell you something.
Yes,
so I'm going to write it here so that just ask me the technology so that I'll come back to it and share. Let me just finish this story.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes,
so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I've got almost 300 people that are looking to me and are going to ask me, Madam, are we going to get any money next month? And I'm asking myself, what am I going to say to them? And I'm being open and honest with you guys, honestly. I'm being totally open and honest with you guys. And I'm asking myself, what am I going to say to them? Because they have dependents.
Yes.
What am I going to be able to offer them? And so when I talk about self, even within self, there are certain pillars that we must pay attention to. And one of those pillars is spirituality. It's a deep sense of spiritual connection with God. God, to some people, is Allah. To some people, is Buddha. To some people, he is something else. So I speak about the superior, divine, intelligent force that is the source of all we are, that says, I am the I am that I am. That is the person I am speaking of. That then says that through him, there's nothing that we seek that we cannot find. And there's nothing that we ask that we will not receive. And so I sat down and I started to ask. I say, ask. The question you ask will give you the kind of answer that will move you forward.
Yes, ma'am.
So think of your question carefully, because it can either hold you in one place or it can move you forward. So I said, I've got all these machines. We cannot make surgical masks because we are not set up to make surgical masks. We are set up to produce children's clothes, shirts, trousers, dress, shorts. Those are the things we're set up to produce. Honestly, it fell in my spirit. Cloth masks. They're talking about cloth masks. So somebody sent me a video from Yugoslavia. And then I started. How am I going to get the pass for my people to come to work? How can I get a few of them to come to work so that we can even make prototypes? We can make samples. We can brainstorm. How can we re-engineer this entire factory to be producing face masks? It happened in less than 10 days. We re-engineered the entire factory.
Wow.
And we're producing face masks.
Wow.
There was a need. I did not see the challenge. I saw the opportunity. I stood up with courage to embrace the opportunity, even though I knew that there were challenges within it.
Yes,
but I knew that within those challenges, we would grow. Don't run from a challenge, because in that challenge it's where you're going to grow. It's where you're going to rise to another level. And so embrace a challenge. And I don't call it problem, because I've noticed that the words that we use to describe our situations can either make that situation graver or can help you begin to think about it in a different way. Perception. It alters our perception of a situation. And you want to be clear on your perception of a situation where you are standing in a place where what you are seeing is possibility, not negative, not a negative perception of I can't, it can't be done, we can't do this. I grew up with a saying, two sayings, I believe both of them are from Henry Ford. Yeah?
Yes,
the first one was, use what you have to get what you want. The second one was, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, both of them are actually, either one of them will be true for you. So the important thing, honestly, is know who you are, know what you want, be driven by something that is bigger than yourself. So you are not driven by a need to survive. You are driven by a desire to thrive, to give to the world of your service, of your gift, of your talent. And honestly, the doors will open for you. The people who will make it happen for you will suddenly appear. Because once God gives you an idea and you embrace the idea along with the inherent challenges that will come with it, and you submit yourself in obedience to the growth that will come from it, everything that you need will show up. It must show up because it is a law of life. So to add to that, I would just say, be sincere with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. You owe it to yourself. Don't look at another man's watch to tell your own time. Set your pace. Be consistent. Be consistent. It's so important. You know, Yoruba people say that bon gunyan ninu ewe ton se obe ninu epo epa. Eni to ma yonko ayo. Even if they're pounding yam inside the skin of groundnuts, and they're cooking the stew inside banana leaves, the people who are going to eat will eat and they will be full. I love Yoruba because it's such a deep, meaningful language. I just love it to pieces. Yeah. So the other thing I said I wanted to tell you as a pillar of business, which I forgot, is technology. The world is disrupted. Forget it. It's not going to. It's a new. When we go back to work, we're going back into a new world, a new way of doing things.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be a new normal. So in this new normal, how will you function? You need to begin to think of that. It will be change. How will you embrace change? And change can be difficult. How will you embrace change? Because to not embrace change is to die. You become obsolete. And you don't want to become obsolete in a world where you are still alive.
Yes, ma'am.
And you still have so much to offer. Yeah? So embrace technology. Use technology in your business. Our entire business is based on technology, driven by technology. We have cloud servers, we have server rooms. Every single store that we have, all of its inventory can be seen from our central location, no matter where the location of the store is. So we deployed technology to manage this business. So begin to understand how important it is to use technology. Don't shy away from it. When I see people still using hand to write invoice, I'll say, hey, how many invoices do you want to use hand to write? They're still collecting cash. Look at us, no cash at all. Everything we're doing is bank transfer. Everything is being done, transfer. Because you can't get cash to pay the people for the fabrics. You can't, no cash. So we must embrace technology. We must learn it. I'm not a technological expert, but you see, the thing I do is I hire the people who know how to do those things. And then they teach me some of it. And then some of it I say, that's your own experience. That's your own expertise. You must learn to bring in the people that know what to do. And you must learn to leave them to do what they know how to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you are the entrepreneur, because you are the visionary, doesn't mean you have all the answers. All of us is smarter than one of us.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's never forget that.
Yes, ma'am.
And let your people speak. Let them share ideas with you. These are lessons I learned along the way. I wasn't always like this, but I wanted to succeed. So I needed my own ego to calm down and go down. I needed to learn humility, to listen to other people, to engage with people, to mix with people, whether they are my office assistant, whether they are my gardener, whether they are my driver, to see them as people and to engage with them.
Awesome.
So leadership is not a joke. It's not something that you take lightly. It's a huge responsibility. And so we must embrace leadership with sincerity, with a sincerity of purpose, that everybody can see this person is going somewhere. And so therefore, I can follow this person. Because if I follow this person, something good will happen. And I'm loving what we're doing. By the time I called the rest of my staff, we sat down, logistics, what are the things we need to do to be able to work at this time? We have to feed everybody that comes. So every day we're feeding over 150 people.
Wow.
We have to get transportation for them. So there's buses carrying people up and down because that's what it takes to make the dream a reality. That's what it took. Some people are working overnight. That's what it takes to make the dream a reality. So embrace wherever you find yourself in the light of divine providence. And please write this down. In the light of divine providence, there are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. Find the reason why that thing is happening in that particular time. What is your connection? How do you connect? How do you serve in that space and time? And amazing things will happen for you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay, so what I will do is quickly I will open the floor for people who want to ask questions. I can see a lot of awesome wow going on there. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I think it's very powered. You didn't talk about passion, but we could feel the passion.
I did actually. I said passion is your energy.
Yeah.
Passion is your energy. And a lot of people mistake they don't understand what passion means. Passion is your energy. And passion is a very strong emotion. And it can propel you forward or it can hold you back. Because you can become so emotional with something that you can't make good decisions because you are so emotional.
True.
So it's the ability to harness that energy in the right channel where it gives you the desired results that you want. So it's not dissipated all over the place, trying to be all things to everybody. But it's focused energy that is set to achieve a desired outcome and finds every reason to achieve it rather than every reason not to achieve it. Yeah?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay, so I think you know, people are quite excited. Everybody's being blessed. I would like to take us into question and answer time. And I would like to start that journey by asking the first set of questions. Or just a few questions. Something I feel people will want to know
Okay.
that hasn't been expressly talked about. I want to see how I can hold on a minute. Let me see how I can get out of this page. Okay, excellent.